Recording in progress.
Yes. Can you hear me all?
Yeah, so I can hear you, but all I see is
Working on it. I'm going to be so sad. I can hear us for questions. But you have to get all the super. No, we really actually didn't on this when somebody over here is talking. Know that you can, I'm like trying not to like rub my nose. No, I have to look. Yes. It's fine that you guys know the time, so that's fine. You're welcome to come sit up here. No, that's really not necessary.
you can have my chair.
No, that's okay. Thanks though.
Somebody has to keep Darcy awake.
Unless it's wire, then you're liberal. You let you try to sleep. We're basically like surveillance. So. Not a lot of us learn employees.
Mr. Mayor, before you get started, I want to apologize to the council for my mix-up. I left my computer and all my council materials here. So instead of making a round trip yesterday, the mayor was gracious enough to let me Zoom instead of driving another 3.5 hours back, but I really do apologize. I also apologize if you hear Coop whimpering. He got kicked out of the apartment building this morning because he wouldn't be quiet. And I had to take him to doggy daycare.
All right, I've got 5:30. The recessed council meeting for May the 23rd for the city of Ellsworth will come to order. Let's please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just to let everybody know, before we get started, we do have a very unusual meeting tonight. We have 2 executive sessions planned, so we will at some point here ask you to leave for a few minutes, then we'll return. We'll do the unfinished business portion, then we'll new business. Then at the very end, we'll have another executive session. So it'll be pretty a lot of movement tonight. So with that said, let's begin with the consent agenda. Water sewer termination request is the only item. It's the agenda item report AR-22-071. Minutes.
We have 0.
So no water sewer termination requests.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
Ms. Coates has made a motion to approve the consent agenda items. Ms. Hanson has seconded that motion. Will there be any need for further discussion? Clarification. All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to approve the consent agenda for the notes, the minutes for May 9th and 19th city council meetings, and the agenda item report 22-071. Next portion of our meeting, petitions and delegations. So members of the public will have 5 minutes for items that are not on the agenda. They will state whether they are a city resident. If there are further questions, the council will ask those questions. If there are no further questions after 5 minutes, just please have a seat and we'll move on from there. So Karen, would you like to go first?
Are you gonna talk, Wayne, or you want me to say it?
No, you can get started. You can go ahead.
Well, Wayne and I don't. I wanna know why you guys make up plans for things. And when I ask a question, I never get an answer. Somebody on this council should know the answer as to why we're not doing anything with the wonderful soccer field that is now filled with weeds.
So, Mr. Mayor, according to our grass and turf expert who superintends the golf course, it's the wrong season to plant that particular grass. So that's why it hasn't been planted.
So something gonna be done, or is it just gonna be weeds?
It's going to be done when the season is ready and it's conducive to planting. And I would have to,
Yeah,
I have October in my head, but it could be August. We'll get an answer and I will contact Ms. Schreiner personally.
very good.
Why didn't we do
But
it last
it's
summer?
definitely not due to negligence. There would be no need to plant it now if it wasn't going to grow.
Okay, very good. All right, next, Chuck, did you want to talk about the library?
Well, I just came tonight because the library board has submitted their budget for 2023 to the city. And mostly, I just wanted to know if you had any questions or comments or anything. Our total budget has gone up some from last year. And we'll be requesting another $8,000 from the city. And just rough numbers, most of that increase is anticipated increases in utilities and insurance. And there will be some increase, of course, with payroll. And part of that is that we anticipate finally having a person for children's story hour, a full-time person for story hour. As it is, our library director has been doing both those jobs. So we hope to add another person also. So basically, what you see in increases, those 4 items there are primarily the result of that.
So, Mr. Mayor, unless there is a gross decrease in the county's valuation, the $8,000 is easily absorbed by the 8.5 mils that the city has to levy for 2023 for the library. And I didn't see anything in the budget sheet that Ms. Sipple brought over that was of concern.
That sound good? Any questions for him? All right. Thanks, Jack. Absolutely appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other petitions and delegations? Anybody like to speak to the council? All right, so without any other petitions and delegations, how many minutes will we need for the executive session? I'm gonna say 10. All right. So we're gonna need an executive session to discuss the acquisition of real property.
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion that we go into executive session to protect the city's financial interest and bargaining position for preliminary matters involving discussions relating to acquisition of real property until 5:47.
I'll second.
Mr. Scritchfield has made a motion.
Yes, it is gonna be. Built the governing body, city attorney, city administrator, clerk.
All right, Mr. Scritchfield has made a motion to go to executive session to protect the city's financial interest and bargaining position for preliminary matters involving discussions related to the acquisition of real property, to include the governing body, the city clerk, city attorney, city administrator, and was there anyone else that I forgot? That's it. Ms. Coates has seconded the motion. Any discussions? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, we will return in 10 minutes. 5:47.
Brittany, make sure you stop the recording and you have to remove Emil, who's also logged on.
Okay. Can I just go to the waiting room or? Or- Let me fix it.